Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey, everybody. We're so glad you're here today.
We are thrilled to have you here today. We're going to be talking about planning your next quarter. We're going to get into some tools and features that you might not have known yet in AttractWell that can help you to plan out your next quarter and always be on top of these plans, even if you are, like most of us, a business of one, right? If you are just one person, you got to do all the things. And a big part of that is making your clients happy. And another really big part of that is finding more people to be your clients. Where do you make the time to plan? As we're filming this right now, we're in mid-November, so we're Q4 of 2022, and this is the perfect time for you to go ahead and at least just map out and set your intentions for the steps you're going to perform and what you're going to do so that you are truly starting off the new year strong with your offers and what you plan to do to grow your business in the new quarter already figured out. So let's not wait to make our resolutions until the 1st of January. And of course, let's not wait to decide how we're going to grow until the new year is here. So excited to learn more about you guys that are here on the call today. If you'd like to share your business, what it is that you do, and perhaps if you already know what you are going to be offering in the new quarter of the new year, the first quarter of the new year. There's some folks saying they can't hear me, or Erica, that
I can hear you okay.
Okay, got you.
So
Okay, perfect. Might want to check your volume, Erica. Anyway, we're going to be looking at how you can get your next quarter launched and how you can use AttractWell to get it done. Because why not use the same tool, the same dashboard that you're using to do those very important things for your business, like managing the happiness and success of your clients, and of course, getting new leads into your pipeline to become your new clients. Now, before we get into that, we have something really exciting to announce. This is time sensitive, and we're going to keep it short and sweet here at the beginning because this is going to live on forever on YouTube. But we do have our very first Black Friday special that is now up on the AttractWell website. So I want to just go quickly and show you where you can find this information. This is something that is going to be available to you if you are an AttractWell customer. You can sign up brand new with us, or you could upgrade to an annual plan, and there's some cool stuff that you're going to get. You scroll down on our homepage, you can see when this, how long we're running this promotion here, and then of course all of these cool things that you're going to get when you take advantage of these offers. We do have a series of courses that we're going to be giving away for free, and that's going to be the AttractWell Pipeline Igniter, the Client Funnel Challenge, and the How to Build Your Online Course. But the cool thing, we are launching something brand new in the new year. We're calling this the Launch Challenge. It is the digital whole of business blueprint for you. It's taking a holistic view of your business and launching the 4 core pieces of your business that need to be up and running smoothly, connected, working together like a nicely oiled machine. So we're going to get into your brand and website, creating your lead pipeline, perfecting your lead to customer pipeline, and then get your new client onboarding together. This is going to be a live challenge. This is all about implementation and doing work together. And you get to get access to this in the new year when you get started with us here at AttractWell. And if you want to learn about any of these programs, just click the link here and it'll pop you right over to this page where you can learn more about it. So here's the Launch Challenge. And then of course you can learn about all of these other super cool courses that we are offering, and all of the really cool free stuff that you're getting, like unlimited vaults and classes. So your plan level is typically limited to a certain number of vaults and classes on your account. You can increase that number, of course, by signing up for unlimited vaults and classes as a paid add-on. But when you get started with us during this promotion, you'll actually get that for free, either 3 months of it, if you're getting started with us for $1 for your trial, or if you get started with us at annual, you get a whole year of unlimited vaults and classes. You can also get up to 1,000 extra marketing credits per month for life, complimentary domain name or email address to brand your business. Of course, when you go annual with us, we do have a 30-day money back guaranteed. You'll get preferred pricing on migration services and other done for you services. And we're also giving away one-on-one consults, either on tech or on strategy, so that you can really get the whole of your business rocking and rolling in the new year. And there's just so much here that you guys can take advantage of. So I want to encourage you, if you haven't done so already, head over here to AttractWell.com, scroll down, learn more about what we're offering here. You can, of course, get started for $1 for your first month. And then, of course, like I said, we do have that 30-day money back guarantee and all kinds of awesome stuff that we're including if you decide to make a commitment to your business and go annual with AttractWell during this Black Friday promotion. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get out of video. We're both going to do that so that we can head into our slides and talk a little bit about our quarter planning. If you guys have questions, please do go ahead and, that's the wrong share. Please do go ahead and add those to the Q&A so that we can address those, whether they have to do with the promo or the content here or really anything in particular. This is a live call, live work session that is designed to provide an opportunity for you to get live help on anything that you've got questions with as it pertains to running your business, growing your client base, and improving how you are working in your business with AttractWell. So now that I think I have everything situated here, we can see my slides, right, Greg?
Yes, you can.
Perfect. All right, thanks. All right, so let's talk about how we plan our next quarter with AttractWell. So what we're going to get into today is talk a little bit about what's in your next quarter, why now is the time to really be thinking about this. And then we'll get into some planning and execution tools, and AttractWell will go through an overview of what the features are in our system that you might want to dive into and learn more about. And we'll give some specific examples and use cases. We'll also talk launch strategies for any of you who have some ideas or you already know what you would like to launch in the new year, and maybe you want some ideas on how you can use AttractWell to execute those strategies. We can talk through those here today on this live call. And then, of course, we are here for live help and Q&A. If you are here for a review of your work and you are looking for that one-on-one time today, please go ahead and let us know that you're here in the Q&A so we can make sure we've got that time dedicated, set aside for you at the close of our call today to talk through whatever it is that you need help with. So first, if you haven't done so yet, please do go ahead and tell us about your business. Let us know what you do, share what it is that you've got going on. We are always so thrilled to learn about what you do here. And if you've got questions or need help, the Q&A is ready for you here as well. If you want to work together live, as one may do on today's call, you can go to attractwell.com/work review and reserve a spot for yourself, dedicated space to actually, set an appointment. Say, hey, I want to actually sit down and talk with somebody for 20 minutes. You can do that when you do this. So go to attractwell.com/work review. And then, of course, if you're watching this as a replay in the future, go to attractwell.com/office hours to join this live Zoom call. We are live every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Of course, that does accept national holidays in the United States. Next week is Thanksgiving, and we will not be live for that, just FYI. So what are you launching? Let's talk about this, you guys. Oh, I see we've got bookkeeping services, launching an education program on the side. We see support going through cancer treatment with guided meditation and energy healing, fertility coach, course creator, publisher, author, speaker, wellness coach. We've got Mechanic Alliance is relaunching. Excellent. I know you've got an education hub there. Really, really exciting stuff. I love it. All right. So, we've also, there's more. We've got wellness coach, yoga instructor, relationship coach. Ooh, we're launching 3 book collaborations. Fantastic. Okay. So this is great, you guys. Here's the thing. Is anybody here, maybe if you're here today and you don't quite know what you're going to do in the next quarter, you can raise your hand. You don't have to say anything in the chat. Is that kind of where you're at? Maybe you're here today because you maybe don't know what to do next. right? Or maybe you haven't thought about it. Maybe you've been too busy, whatever that might be, right? It's totally fine. It's not too late. Now is the time to start thinking about this, to start deciding this. And the cool thing is that if you're new, right? If you are really in the early stages of what you have already launched, then what we really want to be looking at is how we launch our marketing, right? This doesn't mean that you have to launch a brand new offer. This could mean that you can relaunch your efforts to get exposure toward that offer, right? Now, for those of us who have, maybe if you're in that position, do you feel like you know how you want to or how you need to market your existing offer? Do you have a general idea or a plan in place for how you want to get that out there? Share in the chat, let us know what you plan to do. Do you have, are you going to be releasing content in the form of maybe YouTube videos, social media posts, podcasts, white papers, maybe some speaking engagements? Do you have events you're considering, perhaps hosting or being a speaker at, or being a presenter or a vendor at? Right? So the place that you want to start with launching your next quarter is to first say, what am I selling, right? If you don't know what you're selling, start there. You got to figure out what you're selling first, right? And then of course, you would need to make sure that you allocate your time to develop the thing that you're going to sell if it's something that's not ready. If you're just getting started on this journey, you know, and you're selling your time, you're selling your expertise, maybe you're selling sessions or packages of sessions, that's a phenomenal place to start. You don't have to come up with something new. You from there are going to want to start thinking about how you want to get that in front of people, right? And there are a lot of different ways to do this. I just listed a whole bunch of ideas. But you know, getting yourself out there is going to be a primary one. So we're going to go through kind of what it could look like for yourself to sort of ideate here, and we can talk through any of this together if you want to put into the Q&A, like, here's what I have to offer. I would like help with figuring out how to get it out there. Put that in the Q&A for me, and we'll make sure that we spend some time together on this call to kind of brainstorm and figure out what you can do. And then of course, what you can start planning to do to execute it. Real quick here, Brittany says she hired a VA this quarter to help strategize it all out, working on a webinar in December, launching an ebook, creating a social media strategy on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and also setting up email marketing with strategy. Fantastic. You've got the whole thing there. Now you probably just have to figure out your production schedule, Brittany, right? So you've got the strategy handled. Now it's time to execute. So we're going to talk about both of those. Yes, ma'am. I love it. Awesome. All right, so let's talk about the tools you can use in AttractWell to plan your next quarter. So first, you might not know this, but we have an events feature in AttractWell. And you may or may not be somebody who does live events where people might RSVP, similar to like a Facebook event or Eventbrite or something like that, right? But we have that, and it is attached to your website, so it's branded to you. And this events feature can be used in some ways that you might not have considered. So we're going to talk about that. Follow-up plans, we've talked about in other trainings in the past. This is a critical central piece of what we're going to be talking about here today. It is your way to create to-do lists for yourself, so that you don't have to keep all of this stuff stuffed in your head. If you know that you've got to, like Brittany knows, she's got a strategy in place here. So she probably knows that she's got to, write a certain number of pages for her, or words for her ebook on a weekly basis. She's got to, work on it, get a certain number of slides done or copy done for her webinar on a weekly basis, right? Because now she knows what she's going to do. She can actually space it all out and make it manageable, right? Then we've got to map out the content for TikTok, for Facebook, for Instagram. And then again, because you know what you're going to do, you can space that out and say, this week I'm creating, 3 videos that are going to be used for Instagram and TikTok. And I'm doing that next week, and so on, right? So once you know what you're going to do, you can use follow-up plans in a really cool way to remind yourself to do stuff on certain days and at certain intervals, which we'll get into here as well. We'll also talk about some tools to launch and sell your offers. We have some incredible in-depth training that you have access to because you're a part of this community. I'm going to show you what those trainings are that you can reference for these purposes here in just a sec. But the tools that we're going to use are pages, vaults, and of course, funnels, which are a combination of pages or landing pages with campaigns, right? Because you got to capture people to get them on the email list. You sell them via email. And then of course, you're sending them to sales pages. And if you're running a program or a course, it's inside of a vault, etc. Right? So first, let's talk about this additional training that I want you to make sure you write down and reference. You can find these on our YouTube channel. Use the search feature and you'll be able to go straight to these. First, I want you to type in the word sell, S-E-L-L, right? This is a training that's called How to Sell Anything on AttractWell. In this training, I show you how to use a page and turn that into a way for you to sell a single coaching call, multiple coaching calls, a package of calls, right? An online course, whatever it might be, right? So you can sell anything on AttractWell, and this training goes through how you can do that. Another one that you're going to want is what you need to create courses and programs. All right, so maybe type in course for this one or program, and you're going to learn what you need to get this done and the basics of how to set it up. We also have a sales page training. Again, if you type in the word sales, you're going to find this training, and we do have a template that is pre-made for you that you can go through and use and make your own to sell whatever you want in the coming quarter. And then we've got your pre-launch checklist for courses and programs. So if you are offering courses and programs, use this as a reference for yourself to make sure that you've got everything that you need set up and ready to go so that you can get out there and launch. All right, so let's now go and explore these features in AttractWell. And then of course, for anyone who would like, we can go and we can actually talk through any of your ideas that you might have for your new quarter offering. All right, so I think we're in the right place here. All right, so the first place that I want to go actually is to follow-up plans. Now, follow-up plans are going to be found under contact settings. And then follow-up plans are right here. You could also type in follow-up plans up here, follow up, and there we go. You can also just click that there. If you want to learn a bit more about follow-up plans and the basics of how to build them, type in follow in here, and you're going to see two particularly important articles that will provide some additional information on this. Event to-do items is specifically what we're going to be focusing on as we tie into events. So generally speaking, you're going to use follow-up plans to remind yourself to do stuff for and to contacts in your system. So if you get a new lead, or maybe it's a new client and you want to remind yourself to do these 3 things every single time you get a new lead or a new client, you could use a follow-up plan to do that, so that to-do is tied to that contact. But you can also create to-dos for yourself. And this is how you can actually use AttractWell for planning and not just maintaining, for being proactive and not just reactive, right? We're not just reacting to what our business needs. We can actually plan to show up exactly when we need to. So let's create a follow-up plan. And let's just say that we know that in the next quarter, we are going to have we're going to do a live webinar. So we're going to call this live webinar planning and follow up. So that's going to be the name of this follow-up plan. So the first thing that I know that I need to do if I'm going to have a live webinar is I'm going to, and I'm going to give a day 0 here, set a date, right? Got to set a date for it. What else do we need to do? We need to determine a topic, right? Now you could go through, and day 0, this just means like you're probably going to do these things at once, right? But I'm just going to add them so we're clear and you guys can see how we do this. Now let's just say, for instance, you want to bring a special guest out to be on this call. Maybe you're doing a call for your audience and you want to like do a value add here, and you would like to bring out somebody that you think would be of particular value or import to your audience. So maybe you want to remind yourself to send an email to that person, right? Or to send, actually, we'll send email out to prospects for this call, prospective guests, right? So prospective guests. And we'll say guests for webinar. And maybe you don't know who that's going to be yet. That's okay. You don't have to tie this to a contact. It's just going to go to you. So maybe I want to make sure that I do that. I'm going to apply this to myself, but I want to make sure that I do this. And this is important. I want to do this 2 weeks before I set the date. And actually, you know what? I'm going to remove these two because we're actually going to set the date and determine the topic when we create the event here in a bit. So at least 60 days before, so we'll say 60 days before the webinar, I want to reach out to prospective guests. All right. And then let's just say I know that 2 weeks, so 14 days before, and you see where I'm going negative here? This is days before an event. And you'll see how this works here in just a bit. So 14 days before, I want to initiate email sequence. And then I also want to, 14 days before, initiate posting strategy. Cool. So maybe if I know that I need to create 15 different graphics, then before that, 14 days before, maybe we'll do this 27 days before, create Instagram graphics and videos for webinar. And that's going to pop that down there. And the cool thing is it's going to automatically order it for you, and you can change these things around. Now the day of, that's going to be day 0. The day of this this live call, we want to you know, check, let's see, we'll check AV equipment, right? Whatever that might be, that's the day of. And then maybe the day after, and now we get into the positive numbers, check attendee information, right? So see how many people showed up, right? All kinds of stuff you can do to plan ahead of time. If it's something you have to do before an event, it's a negative number of days before the actual event, right? And the cool thing about this is that when you set this up, you can use it over and over again. So if you know that you're going to, in the second month of every quarter, you're going to launch a new workshop, you can use this over and over and over and over again. Now let's talk about how we can actually apply this to you so that you can see what needs to be done. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to events. And this is going to be a live workshop. So I'm going to create that, go to create event, and this is going to be live workshop. And I don't know, title will be to be determined, but we do know that we want it to be in the 3rd week of March. So let's just say we're going to do this on that Thursday at 8 p.m. Now, direct link only. This is for your planning purposes. Nobody else needs to see this. Nobody's going to register. You've selected direct link only. So what we're going to do here, don't even worry about any of this other stuff. You don't have to set this up like an event because you're not using this for that purpose. You could, like, this could be to create a course. You could say release live course, right? And then you know the date that you want to release it. And then what you get to do here, over here in your to-dos, go to add. And then let's go find that follow-up plan and add it. All right. So now what we get to do, once we have all of this here, we have our to-dos for this specific thing that we've got to do. So think about anything that is a project for you. Maybe it is creating your course. You know, to create your course, you need to shoot your videos. You know, you need to make your slide decks if you're using them. You know, you need to create a sales page, set up a vault. You already kind of know what that list is. So make a follow-up plan for it, and then make a hidden event like this. And so you've got it to do. And then what's going to happen is when you go to your dashboard, events with to-dos show up here. And so let's just start looking at, here, I'll actually get into maybe March of 2023. Oh, it's not doing that for me. Anyway, what you're able to do when it's that day and there's something that needs to get done, you're actually going to see those things populate here, and they're going to come from these events, and nobody is going to see this but you, right? So it's a hidden event. Use this for your planning purposes. Shirley says it's great for setting up things for your VA to do as well. 100%. Yes, absolutely. So if you have a VA that's working with you, then yeah, all you need to do, and gosh, wouldn't this be amazing if you go to your settings, and if there's a process for your business that needs to be performed by a certain date and time, and maybe it's something that's going to be repeated, create a follow-up plan for it. There is a day that the thing should be finished or executed, and that would be your day 0. And then your day 1 after that would be, you know, for you to go and check to make sure everything was done correctly, right? But then everything that is in the negative numbers is going to be the thing that needs to be done, right? And this is a to-do for you. Again, it's not a to-do for your contacts. It is very specifically a to-do for you. So that is a really, really important thing that I want to encourage you to give a try and to start using. So we've talked about our events feature, our follow-up plans. Now let's talk about some of the tools that you'll use to launch and sell your offers. Of course, first, we've got a question here about this before I move on. Mark says, can we use this as just a general to-do list to accomplish something we're working on, like launch my first course? 100%, Mark. Let's go take a look at what that would look like. So first, we'll go under settings, we'll go to follow-up plans, and we'll create one that will be launch my course. So in order to launch my course, I'm just going to drop everything in here, and then I can go and order them later, right? So the first thing that I want to make sure that I do is we need the title, of course. We need to determine lead gen strategy. So that's going to be like, what lead magnet am I going to use? How am I going to promote this? We'll also need to create slide deck. We'll also need to create branding assets. We need to film videos, build vault, test the vault. Maybe you want to invite beta testers. Maybe from there, you want to make sure that you have a sales campaign written, a sales page done, and we also want to make sure that we are, I don't know, launch email, whatever that might be, maybe for like a live workshop or something like that you're going to do. So now we've got all of our to-dos here. We just want to get them in order. So what do we want to make sure that we do first? Knowing that day 0 is when we actually get everything out to the world. And so that's going to be, day 0 is going to be launch. And that's going to mean email list, right? That's day 0. So up to that point, what all do we need to do? So I think that the first thing that we need to do, probably, 2 weeks ahead of time, let's just say, we do want to make sure that we know what the title of this thing is going to be. So let's give ourselves 60 days to determine the title. We also want to determine our lead strategy. We don't want to do that right away. The next thing that we're going to do, let's see. We want to create our slide deck, right? So that's going to be maybe in the first 50 days. We want to create our branding assets also in the first 50 days, because we're going to use those on our slide deck, right? And then we need to film our videos in the first, we'll just say 40. And then we want to build the vault as well after we've got our videos. We want to test the vault after we've built the vault. So maybe that's going to be maybe 39 days before. And then of course, after we've tested the vault, we want to invite our beta testers. That's going to be, we'll say 38 days before. We've got it all tested. We've got our beta testers in there if you're using them. Now we need to determine our lead generation strategy. I think you should certainly do that more than 30 days before, but I'm just giving an example here. So let's actually say we'll determine our lead generation strategy 40 days prior so that we can start getting our marketing stuff in order. Sales campaign, something that we also need to get in order, at least 30 days prior. Sales page can be in the final 2 weeks. And then of course, launch is day 0. So if we've got all of this here for launching your course, we can then go in and create an event. And I'm just going to call this launch my course. And if I want to launch my course in March 1st of 2023, make that a direct link only. Again, nobody's going to see this on your website. It's hidden. Create the event. And then just make sure you go over here to your to-dos and add that follow-up plan, launch my course. So once that's done, you have all of your to-dos and they're all here, so if you get them done sooner, you could obviously go and check them off, right? And you've got that full list of those, and you can add more to them if you want. If you maybe missed something, or maybe this time when you're launching a course, there's something you're going to do a little differently, you can go in and add additional to-dos, right? So that is such an important piece of what you ought to be doing now, just making sure that you've got all this stuff in the same place. And you don't have to, again, just kind of stuff all this information in your brain and hopefully then remember what you need to do and when. Because if it's in front of you in the same place that you're normally reacting to and interacting with, it's a little harder to ignore. This is the same platform, the same dashboard where you're going to find out if you have new leads or whether your client has paid. And so it's just that much easier for you to kind of trick yourself into giving the space to this very important stuff, these planning activities, and give it the kind of space that it deserves alongside the kind of activity that you're used to prioritizing. Now let's go and look really quickly at pages. This is the feature that you're going to be using to accept payments, to create your sales pages. There is, I believe I have a sales page that's claimed in here. Yeah, here we go. So this is actually the sales page template that you'll receive when you use the training that I recommended before. So you can, of course, make this your own. We make it easy for you. It's already formatted, pretty simple. You could just follow the training and create that. Of course, I do teach in that training how you can take payment on a page like this. Perhaps there from that page, you are selling something that lives inside of a vault. Of course, if you haven't done this yet, you'll definitely want to set up your vault, whether you're selling a community, a coaching program, or a course. You'll want to set that up here. And then of course your sales page will sell access to the vault. You do have the ability as well, and this is particularly important if you are selling a subscription model. When you go to payment setup here and you require payment, then you do have the ability to set up payment plans that are recurring, and you have a link that you can share there. So in that case, you could actually just create a simple sales letter on a page and then send them off to the checkout page for your vault here for them to purchase that thing that you're offering. And then finally, where we're talking about the actual marketing launch strategies of this, there are two really important things that you want to be doing. Number one, you want to make sure you're collecting leads. You can use pages for this purpose, but we also have landing pages, which are just a simplified version of pages that you can use to just collect names and emails. If you're creating an offer, you can't just hope that people who are passing by on social media are paying enough attention to take you seriously and take advantage of what it is that you're offering. 100% of the time, you should be creating content that engages your right people and invites them to come closer, which basically means you want them to come to your website, fill out a form like this somewhere on your website so that they're on your list, right? And now once they're on your list, you have two ways to communicate with them. Of course, connected to however you're collecting that lead on a page or a landing page. You can have a campaign that's going to be a sequence of sales messages or just messages that warm that lead up toward next steps. We do have in-depth training on campaigns on our channel. And of course, if you get into the client funnel challenge, I have a sales campaign pre-written for you that you can use and modify to your own liking. And of course, we've got just loads and loads of training available to you to help you execute all of this stuff. It's just a matter of picking the direction you want to go and getting started. And then of course, finally, what you want to be doing with your marketing is anytime you are actually going to be sharing something, if you share it in one place, point to it from all the places. So let's just say, for instance, you have created a TikTok and it's getting a little bit of engagement, but you want more of it. So you're going to grab that link to your TikTok. You're going to go filter for your leads from whatever the particular lead source is that you're looking for. Maybe it's this one. I filter for this. And of course, ideally, I mean, you may have one, but you may have a lot more. We go to actions, and of course, we can send them mail straight from here. And maybe in this case, have the link to that TikTok and say, I could not believe how people reacted to this. Put that in the subject line and then say, hey, I don't know if you're on TikTok, but I created this video. You might think it's funny or you might find it useful. Here, go check it out. And then let me know what you think, right? And basically what you're doing is you're just creating a connected ecosystem. And you can use your contact manager here to do that. So anybody who's ever opted in to receive information from you can get that from you. But then of course you can use that to point them back out to the other places in the world where you are promoting. So there's lots and lots of cool ways that you can use us for the actual execution of this. But you know, instead of talking about just walking into Home Depot, let's figure out whether or not you are building a new garage or remodeling your bathroom today. So tell us in the comments, or come into the Q&A and let us know what you are hoping to launch and what you would like help with. And we can talk about ways that you can market it. We can talk about, you know, basically creating a list that you could put into your follow-up plans so that you know what to do. Maybe you've never launched a course before. Maybe you've never sold your coaching using a platform like this and you'd like to know what your list of to-dos is. I know what those are and I can tell you right here. So if you would like to come out and ask, and actually have sort of a custom to-do list, a cheat sheet from me, then I'm happy to do that. Just come on out and let me know in the Q&A. So Rochelle, I know this can feel like a lot when you're just getting started. If you would like, just raise your hand and let me know. Actually, real quick. I think I'm good on that. All right, yeah. So just raise your hand and let me know if you'd like to actually just talk through what you're trying to get figured out. And I would be thrilled to talk you through any of it and kind of help you figure out where you put your foot first. Because this is advanced and overwhelming if you're trying to do everything at once. But if we can pick one thing that's logical simple enough to execute, you'll actually see that this is a lot easier than it might feel at first. All right, Erica is trying to decide if you should do an open or closed course or open all the time. So that's going to kind of depend on the nature of the course and the audience that you're putting it out to. Generally speaking, fear of missing out is a powerful tool in marketing for a reason. And for that reason, it is good to have some element of limited time availability for somebody to take advantage. Because if they see it and they believe and they know that, oh, this will just be there in the future and I can make this one-time purchase later, they're never going to when they do that, by the way. There's very, very slim likelihood that they're actually going to do that. Then you actually do benefit from having something available for a limited time. One of the things that I like to recommend, if you're not planning to release courses on a regular basis, so if you're not somebody that's going to, like, you've got a plan for the year to release a course or a new offer every quarter, then what I would do is have a launch of your course where maybe you do something live together. And actually, if you're in the How to Build Your Online Course, I do have a live launch strategy that I outline in that course, where we talk through how you can take something that would normally just be an evergreen thing, and you can, maybe just get on a one live call a week or 2 live calls a month or something like that. And that gives you a benefit as a new course creator to be able to actually interact with your students, allow them to expose to you any gaps that might exist there in your teaching that would benefit them and future students. And then you can actually walk away with a really more perfected, complete finished product while having sold it and made some money, and also getting some great testimonials and engagement from people who are in it. So launch it as though that aspect of it is going to close, because it will, right? A lot of people will buy a course and then never do it. And that's, it's fine if you're just okay with collecting money. But if you are wanting to actually see people enact real change in their lives based on the hard work that you're putting into this, then what I would do is really sell the, hey, when you do this right now, you're going to also get access to this. Maybe you've got Voxer support, maybe you do, some Zoom calls, whatever that might be, and then have that be the thing that is only open for a short period of time. From there, you can kind of decide, do I want to keep an open course that's just there in the background? You might want to. It might be a good thing for you depending on what your offer is and how you set it up. But I would, at least for the initial launch of it, have that live element, because that's going to give you confidence and experience and tools to sell, like those case studies and testimonials from people who are really interacting with you live. And do feel free, just raise your hand for me if you want to talk through any of this. Happy to talk through it with you. All right. Hey, how are you?
Hi, Ashley.
Hey, been a while. All right, so tell me about what you're offering.
So, as a fertility coach, I want to highlight that if you don't get pregnant in the first 90 days of the year, you don't have a baby that year, unless something goes awry. You don't have a full-term baby that year. So I've been trying to understand how to create a launch strategy around that. Of course, that has its own sense of urgency to it by highlighting that. My course is 12 weeks, so it's 90 days. Right now, I have it marketed as a 12-week program. I think maybe the 90 days might sound better. I don't know, something that I could tweak. But I'm just looking for that. I'm just looking for a launch strategy and a lead generation strategy that will help me get this course filled. I've got a few beta testers in right now, and I'm getting really good feedback. I just need some help in that area. So,
okay,
is that enough information?
Yeah, I think so. It's something to start. So,
Yeah.
so it's 90 days. So this is a significant commitment of time. And it sounds like it is probably going to fundamentally involve some amount of your coaching or your presence. Is that right?
Right. So I do twice a month live group coaching.
Okay. And are you going to be pricing this as a monthly thing or as a one-time payment?
It would be a one-time payment. I do have payment plans set up, but ideally just a one-time payment, but they would have access to it, lifetime access to it.
Okay. So given the nature of what you're offering, you're not really going to like dictate baby making schedules, you know? And
there's no guarantees at the end. It's just we're trying to maximize all the things that are in our control. We're trying to maximize the fertility environment and what is in their control through the course. So
got you. Yeah. So actually in this case, I would keep this evergreen. I would keep this a thing that's sort of a rolling entry because of the sensitivity, like the sort of sensitive nature of the
right.
information that you're selling, and the fact that it does fundamentally include some time with you. I would look at it more as it's not really a course. Like this is effectively it's a coaching program, and I would look at it a little bit more like, obviously, you're a coach, not a health practitioner, but I would position it as a health or wellness practitioner would. So, like for instance, like an acupuncturist who runs a fertility program is going to accept people into that fertility program of X number of visits with, herbs and whatever on a rolling basis, right? And it's less about like them interacting with others and doing something in a group, and it's more about like, I'm serious about this right now and I need your help. So it's kind of like you getting a leveraged one-on-one client is what this sounds like, where you don't have to be with them every single step of the way. But it's like working with you, but in a way that you can work with a lot of people at once. And so in that case, I would just, I would not make that a limited time thing. Maybe you have a limited time bonus to help people, hop off the fence. But the option itself, the offer itself, I wouldn't make limited time.
Okay, so there was something that you said there about the fact that when you were talking about the acupuncturist and the herbs, that I'm not a health practitioner, but I'm working, it's like, sorry, I can't remember exactly what you said. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah. So what I'm referring to is that the benefit that you are selling is going to be kind of similar to the benefit that they're selling, right? Like if you do these things, if you follow these steps, then we're going to dramatically increase the likelihood that you're going to get this outcome that you want, which in this case is to get pregnant, right? So an acupuncturist, and just for everybody who's listening, like I've worked with holistic practitioners for like ever. So I'm coming from a place of a lot of knowledge for me. So acupuncturists will, who specialize in fertility, will create a care plan. It's, obviously you can't have people come in one visit at a time and hopefully they come back and actually like do the full thing, right? But those who are ideally in a lot of cases operating outside of the insurance model and are cash practices, they will say, all right, so if this is the outcome that you want, the best way for us to get it is to do all of these things, and we're going to pay for that up front, because that's going to help ensure that they actually do what they're supposed to do, right? And you're able to really help, you are helped in being able to do the job that you need to do, which is to help them get what they want, right? And so what I'm saying here is that somebody who goes to a practitioner for an outcome like that is not going to jump at the oh, it's only open for 60 days. Like that's because of what they want, they're not going to jump, like for that reason. Like they want a baby because they want a baby, right? And then of course they'll choose to work with that practitioner because they trust them, and because they feel like what is being prescribed as a thing to do to get this done is doable. and they feel comforted in knowing that this is a person who could help them potentially get that thing that they want. So you are really selling yourself, obviously not as a wellness provider, and you don't have to, but the positioning is similar, the strategy is similar, right? So you have a thing that you offer, and maybe you have lower level offerings that are about stress management that cost less and don't require any of your time. Maybe you eventually have other free things. I know you've got affiliate products that you offer, but for this thing, this is kind of like a signature program with you.
Right.
Right. Yeah, where they can hop on calls with you a couple times a month. They've got a full blueprint of what they need to do, and they're in the program for this long so that they can have, you know, the best outcome. So yeah, I would not, I would keep that open all the time. Yeah, I would put a time limit on it for sure, because if people know that they've got access to it forever and always, they're not going to do it, right? And that this is true before they purchase. It's also true after they purchase. So it is good to put a hard stop on it and say, this is, you know, you get access to this for 6 months. Perhaps maybe if you're not successful, you can, you know, in that period of time, maybe they have a call with you. So you can kind of talk about, well, have you been doing the things, right? And then you can kind of determine whether or not they can keep access longer or something like that. But they would have guaranteed access for this period of time.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to chat with you. All right, Lynn, do you wanna chat about a list of things for your sales page? Got your hand up here. Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Good.
So my thing is a little bit similar to what you were just talking about.
Okay.
I have care packages for people who are going through cancer.
Okay.
And so this includes creating a personalized guided meditation for them to listen to while they're taking their chemo treatments or whatever. A second personalized one for their friends and family to use to support them. And then 8 energy healing sessions post chemo treatment. So
That's amazing.
one of the I was talking to somebody else who does something similar, and what she was talking about was having like some sort of funnel, which, you know, because cancer generally is such a sudden thing, I don't know that doing funnels or live classes would be effective. So I don't know if there's like if I should do like a recorded thing about, hey, here's who I am, here's my background, this is what I do, and this is how I can support you, so that they could listen to that at any time. And then from there, take them to a sales page that offers, you know, for full service, pre-recorded meditations as opposed to personalized ones, or a la carte services.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't see that being a limited time offer thing, and I don't think that you need to manufacture scarcity for something like that, especially given the sensitive nature of the content. So I think that in terms of the content that you create to get the word out about what you do, I think that and this is, I'm kind of going around your answer and I'm going back to it. Sorry.
Okay.
But what because I want to kind of give a holistic view here, because I think it's important to know that you can have static things on your website. Like you can have, you know, there's plenty of people who have $1 million practices who have like just a really simple circa 1999 white paper as like the free thing on their website with like a contact form. You don't really have to have like a bunch of like cuckoo bells and whistles and, you know, fake countdown timers and things like that to be successful in any of this. The context is what's so critical. And so if people can come to know your face and see you, you're probably like in getting yourself out there, you're going to be a referral business more than anything else. And the why behind why you help people with cancer is going to be the reason that people who don't have cancer follow you in the first place, because they have been touched by cancer in some way. and they find you uplifting, and they find you resourceful, and they like to hear what you have to say. And so having little pieces of content out there that are inspiring, uplifting, educational, and things like that, like maybe having a series of videos on YouTube where you talk about, you know, hey, if you're prepping for chemo, right? Or you know, if you've just gotten, like maybe on your website, this might be a thing you do. If you've just gotten a diagnosis, like here's a breathing technique you need to know right now. And I've got a guided meditation, and like, let's get centered. Like, I've got you, just do this. Like that would be the thing I would use to get leads. But out in the world, and stuff that you're putting out there would be, you know, things that are preventive, things that are maybe encouraging, or kind of helping to assuage the concerns of somebody who's looking ahead at either themselves or someone in their family going through this period of uncertainty, ways that they could prepare themselves. You know, just little tips like that. If you had content like that out in the world, and then you can say, you know, at the end of any of that content that you have, hey, by the way, if you or someone in your life has had a recent diagnosis, I have a breathing exercise and a guided meditation I'd like to share with you, or a checklist of things that you might want to take a look at, or, you know, just something. I would go with like the guided meditation and the breathing exercise, because they're probably digesting a boatload of information already, and probably from their doctor, and you don't want to do like a conflicting thing. But just that thing, like, okay, it's going to be okay. Here's what we do. That's how I would position something like that. And then this would really be sort of a perennial offer for you. It would always be a thing that's available, you know, up until the point that you know, don't have the space for clients for the one-on-one piece.
Right.
And so perhaps what you can do in thinking about the funnel and how it all ties together is you are creating those individualized meditations and things like that for the program itself. Maybe you have a more generic one, and that's what you give away. And when people opt into that funnel, you know, and they watch that video, you can basically say, hey, by the way, you know, one of the things that I do for clients is to create a personalized, you know, meditation exercise, this kind of thing. If that's something that you're interested in, click here, and that could send them, you know, to the sales page, to the sales sequence, to an information session, or to whatever that might be. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So do you think I should have just like a 10 or a 15-minute talk that's recorded on my website somewhere so that people can see what I do and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. And if it pertains specifically to what you do in the program, I would actually have that on the sales page itself, so people can get an idea of what it would be like working with you. You could put this on a work with me page, but it also would serve really well if what you're talking about is in the working together program that you've outlined here. I would also have that on the sales page.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for what you do. It's such an important thing. Okay, Karen, I'd like to create a follow-up plan if I were to create a yoga retreat. Yes, Karen, I'm going to bring you out to chat. Let's talk through this. How's it going?
Hi, great.
Hi, awesome. All right, so tell me about your yoga retreat.
I live in a place where we have seasons, so we're about to embark in winter, and that's a great, you know, at the tail end of winter when we don't have holidays and things to be excited about, a lot of people get into, you know, the depression and stuff. So to create, you know, an uplifting and something exciting to look forward to space. So within, you know, end of February, beginning of March, when nothing's happening. So something around there, you know, next quarter, like you were saying.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So definitely on your to-do list, and this is going to be an ASAP thing to do. And I would actually encourage you guys, you saw me kind of riffing and just kind of like popping things into the follow-up plan. I would encourage you, just like I talk about with like campaigns and copy for pages, I would encourage you to write, like make a list first in a word processor. And then you can actually kind of say, okay, it needs to be in this order, and then put it into your follow-up plan. So obviously the first thing that you need to do is scout out and scout out some places, right? So the first thing you do is actually do some research on locales. Are you going to be using like a third-party location, not one of your own?
Either or, yes, but that's
Okay. Got you. So you're going to create a list of criteria for what you need or want in a location. You're going to come up with a list of locations. You're going to get quotes for those locations. You're going to secure a location, send money, whatever. Then of course you need to come up with a list of things that you need for it. So, you know, do you need to purchase mats? You know, do you need to, you know, make a 2-week before list of like, here's what I need to pack up in my car, or like whatever it is we need to do, right? You know, so make yourself an actual list of the things that are needed for the event itself. And then the action items for yourself is what you want to put on this this list in AttractWell. So if that means that you are, you know, reaching out to 5 guest instructors, or you are purchasing books that you're giving away as a thank you gift, or any other kind of gifts that you may be including in your sort of swag for the event. Obviously, you're going to want to create your schedule for the event, because that schedule for the event, just like creating a program, when you have that outlined, instead of just saying, I'm going to have a retreat and now we have something to look forward to in February, people who like you and already like hanging out with you, that's going to be a no-brainer for mostly. But if we can say, like, you know, here's the journey and the outcome of this journey is what, right? So, you know, that's a list we would want to create of like sort of what is the process. In terms of going digital with this, you're going to want to ask yourself some questions about how you want this event to work. Do you want people to engage ahead of the event? Do you want this to be kind of like a little community? If that's the case, then you're going to want to create a vault. And you could use the How to Move Your Groups course to create like a community vault. And the way that you would use it for the retreat would be, obviously people who purchase access would be able to communicate with each other, to plan, to maybe talk about room shares, things like that. And then of course, any recordings that you have from the event itself could go there that they have access to. Any bonuses, things like that could live in there as well. Maybe they get access to, you know, some kind of like some videos of yours or something like that for a period of time. If you're not doing a vault, then you would just simply want to have, there's going to be 3 campaigns in total. The first campaign is just confirming that they purchased and all of the details of the event, right? That's going to be attached to whatever your point of sale is. If it's at the vault, it's the vault campaign. If it is on a sales page, then that is your campaign that you attach to the sales page. Second campaign you're going to need for this is your actual sales campaign. So these are people who are on your list who want to hear about this thing, right? And then finally, the third campaign is going to be your campaign that takes them from new lead up to the point of like either an info session or like a video or a live call that promotes your retreat, that event. So basically the funnel is, you've got up at the top, somebody opted in to a daily routine for winter yoga or something like that. And then, you know, they get a series of emails that says, oh, hey, by the way, I have an event coming up that, you know, it's going to do this, this, and that for you. If you'd like information on this, click here. They get the info session, and then they start getting that sales sequence, right? And of course, once they get the sales sequence, they need to get that confirmation email. And then the final touches for this are a confirmation page, which we've got training on that. If you don't have one already, it's really simple. A sales page, and then whatever that front page of your funnel is, right? There's a lot of to-dos there. I think what I would do is just kind of break them into, like, you know, what are the pieces? There's the actual logistics of the in-person, in-place stuff, right? There's the like actual marketing piece, like what I was just talking about, like the actual infrastructural stuff. And then of course there's, you know, what you do to get the word out from there. So are you going to have partners in promoting this? You know, how much content are you guys going to be releasing about this, and when will you start? Yeah. Are there any questions that are coming up for you? I'm just kind of, I'm riffing based on event stuff that I know.
No, that's all super helpful, and it gives me some clarity on where to go. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to come back, ask questions anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Lorette, you'd like to do a 5-day weight loss challenge the first week in January, leading to my course and member combination. If you're still, if you want to chat, just pop your hand up. I've got just a couple more minutes before you need to go. If you want to chat through, and again, Rochelle, I've got your input here in the Q&A, and if you'd like to talk, I'd feel free to raise your hand. I'd love to chat with you. Hello, Dr. Willis. How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you so much.
Excellent. All right, so a 5-day weight loss challenge first week of January. Do you have the course and membership set up already?
Yes, and both you and Greg were tremendously helpful in doing that, just being able to walk through that step by step. And then when I needed help, I would scream and Greg was right there. It was wonderful. But yes, I'm just thrilled. Yeah, we had it's a 5-week course, and I did it as a pilot program with 67 people. And now I have people trickling into the membership. And it's, you know, for $1 between now and November 30th, and then December 1st, it cuts off, and it will be the monthly $27 a month. And then for new people coming in, it would be $197 because they're going to get the course plus $27 a month. So I'm looking at the first week in January as being a 5-day challenge that would promote this to new people.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. So do you have the content mapped out for the 5-day challenge? Do you know how you want to deliver that and what you want to deliver?
No.
Okay.
Well, sort of, kind of, but I would like to hear your thoughts on that, because I think you're amazing, just how you have all this in your head. Both of you are such a winning combination. I know I'm going to learn. I'm absorbing junior. I'm just going to absorb like a sponge.
Okay. Yeah, got you. So the 5-day weight loss challenge, do you anticipate video delivery? Like you want to send them videos? Okay.
Yes, it'll be that. It will also be some live, and it's a lot of emotional healing. It's scripture plus science, neuroscience. My work as a cognitive behavioral therapist, and then also in ministry. So it's that scripture plus science together and working on emotional healing. Fabulous. More than like, let's go on a diet. It's not a diet sort of a thing.
Right. Yeah. So what I would do is create a vault, and inside that vault, you've got your online class. So you've got your day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, right? And maybe you also have some other supplemental information in there as well. It sounds like there's a lot more than just here's what you do today, right? So what I would do is create a vault that has all of this great information. And then the campaign that you have attached to that vault. So after somebody, well, you could have just a confirmation vault campaign, either add messages to that campaign that actually will drip out, you know, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You have a couple of options here. You know what I would do? No, this is a live thing. It's going to be first of the year, and it's going to be kind of like a one-time thing. Actually, what I would do, that vault campaign that you have attached to it, you can just use the built-in one, and that's going to be fine. It's just confirmation. Go over here to get access. You're going to want to have an additional campaign that's date-based, that is going to be, you know, counting down. Our challenge starts tomorrow, or our challenge is next week, right? So we've got our campaign set up like that, to where then you can say day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And in each of those emails or texts or however you set up the campaign, tell them, go check out today's video, click here, and you just have a link to your vault, right? So they go and they log in, they watch the video. Maybe they do their accountability piece by commenting underneath the video, whatever that might be, right? And then what you would want to do is in that same campaign, that date-based campaign where we've counted down, oh, we're so excited. And then they're in, and here's the 5 days. I want you to seed what's missing in that challenge, in the content of the challenge. Obviously, you want to deliver well, you want to help people, right? But you want to start exposing the gap, because what you're going to be doing at the end of the challenge is saying, hey, wasn't that awesome? Don't you see yourself going so much further if? And that's when you start kicking off the sales sequence for your program.
Okay, yes. So
Yeah.
it's like they get one win through that 5 days, and then imagine, you know, you're part of this community and you keep winning. So they would need to be free members of it would be a separate community from the membership community. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, it'd be a separate vault.
Okay, and each vault can have its own community. And so
That's
when
right.
they join for free, they automatically get put into that community, and that's okay. And then when they purchase the 197 plus the 27 a month, then they get put into that second vault.
That's right.
Okay. Wow, I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
You're getting it. You're getting it. I'm so excited for you. This is great.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited. I think the timing is great, and the pricing that you have and all the things that you are able to do in AttractWell, I'm really amazed. I've been looking for a long time for a membership, and it all seems so expensive and confusing. And you guys have really made it very doable, very reachable for a lot of people. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate hearing that for sure. And yeah, I'm so excited to see what you do with this. So yeah, thank you for coming out. Hope to see you on another call in the future. So you guys, thank you for sticking around today. Thank you for sharing all of this amazing, inspiring work that you're working on. We're so excited to see you grow and get this stuff done. We'll be active, of course, in our support inbox. If you guys need help from us, do please go and take advantage of our Black Friday specials. Those are going to be available for here just for a couple of weeks. And then, and of course, share with a friend. If there's somebody that you know that might benefit from this, let them be blessed by all of this stuff that we're giving away. And of course, remember, next week we will not be live. That is Thanksgiving here in the US, and we'll be back the following week. Look forward to hearing all of your progress and chatting again then. Have a great week and a great holiday, everybody. Bye.